Hey guys, it's another week and we got more product to talk about, and this week it's all about lures. Shimano dropped a couple of new series of lures on the North American market, and I'm really excited about them because there's good reason. Shimano's been making freshwater lures in Japan for a very long time, and they're incredibly effective. Really high quality lures, like everything we kind of expect from Shimano, and the lures are really no different. And there's been a bunch of people here in North America begging to see these lures come to market, and finally, they're here. It's the Macbeth series of crankbaits. Now, Macbeth is a series of crankbaits. I believe there's 6 models, but we're going to go through them all here that have 10 colors that are designed to cover everything in the North American market, and they really cover that 0 to 5 or 6 feet of water range. So let's just go through it. I mean, there's so many to go through. Let's start with the smallest and work our way up. Now you're going to have a little bit of a hard time seeing this one. This is the Macbeth Tiny. This is a 39F it's called. So really this bait is only 1 9/16 inches long in length, which is 39 millimeters, and it weighs 1/8 of an ounce. And the best part is that 1/8 of an ounce equates to 5 grams, but 10 colors, super premium hooks, square bill, and the really cool thing is the way this runs. It's just a micro version of a square bill. It's got that nice wide kick to it. And what I'm really excited about with this is going to be spring of the year pan fishing. I'm excited about using this for crappie and for perch fishing when they're shallow. There's a number of applications for this, or even finesse fishing bass in very high pressured situations, ponds. I mean, this bait is going to flat out catch them. So that is the Macbeth 39F or Macbeth Tiny, whichever way you want to look at it. Now moving up, we've got the Macbeth 50F. This little bait right here, super wide kick. It's got a keel weight in the belly. You see this point right down here. That's what really gives these baits a ton of action and makes them get that momentum to get a really wide swing on them. The Hyper Edge square bill as well on this bait, and available in 10 colors. It measures out at 50 millimeters long or 2 inches in length, and it's 3/8 of an ounce or 12 grams. Now this bait here, I'm really excited about because this is the perfect snack size for a big largemouth. Now staying in that 50 mil size, this is the Macbeth 50F Shallow. The difference between this and the 50F is the lip shape and the diving depth. So lip shape is a round hyper edge lip versus that square billed lip that's on the 50F, and it's going to dive 0 to 1 feet. So it's basically a wake bait. The other difference between the two is the fact that this one weighs a little more. The 50F weighs in at 3/8 of an ounce. This one weighs at 1/2 an ounce, and you can see through this one. This is Pro Blue in color. You can actually see the weight that goes from the back of the keel here all the way to the nose, so that's going to give it that proper posture. Now the other thing when you're working this bait is by moving your rod position, so flat out straight in front of you, you're going to be able to wake this bait, or a little bit of an up angle, and then as you get closer or you want it deeper, you just lower your rod tip and you're going to be able to get it down up to 12 inches depth. These baits are also all silent, something you should know about them, and it's really, really amazing the movement when you throw these baits. They throw a ton of vibration into the water. Now if you've ever thrown a flat-sided crankbait, you know just how effective they are. And the Macbeth family, as deep as it is, also includes a flat-sided crank. This is the Macbeth 57F flat. Now the one key thing, there's actually a couple key things with this bait, but the one thing I like a lot is the circuit board lip. Circuit board lips, if you've ever fished them before, create a lot of vibration. They're very, very sensitive. The material itself is thin, it cuts the water well, but it really kicks back a lot of vibration to the angler, so you have a sense of what this bait is always doing. The challenge I've always known with flat sides that I've thrown in years past was them being made out of the wood. They were very, very light, very difficult to cast, especially into any kind of wind. And a lot of times I've seen anglers resort to throwing them on spinning setups with light mono or fluorocarbon. Now this one here has something that I really like as well. It has the Shimano Jet Boost from the Boost concept inside this bait. So it's got a spring on a shaft with a weight. So when you cast this thing, the weight will actually snap to the back, but when it's hung there, it actually goes forward because the spring pushes it forward. This is really going to help this bait. It's 3/8 of an ounce, 57 mil long, and it's really going to do a great job in that 3 to 5 foot range like we've been talking about the entire time with this series. Now the one that started it all is right here. This is the Macbeth Original. Now Original is 63F, 63 millimeters in length, 2.5 inches in length. And the other thing about this bait, it's a bit of a heavier bait. This bait casts a country mile. Now this color here, ghost shad, you could see because it's clear where that belly weight is that I'm talking about. It sits right down in this dimple right here. And that there, when it lands on the water, is going to get it into the right posture right away, but it also helps with that hyper edge lip to get that bait to rock back and forth. So it's got a super wide wobble to it. It's going to call fish in, even in dirty water situations. And they have the colors to do that, from red craw, sexy shad, hot mustard, purple-back chartreuse, blue-back chartreuse. This one here is called ghost shad. There's also a green craw, which is clear, which I think is going to be an absolute killer in the clear water. Lots of colors, 10 in every single family I'm talking about. And again, for depth, 3 to 5 feet, it's going to be that perfect thing. Using your rod position to dictate how deep the bait's going to go, or the pound test of the line, is going to work really well with this series. Now the big kahuna of them all is the one we talked about last. That's the Macbeth Big. Big being 75 millimeters or 3 inches in length. Big being 3/4 of an ounce or 21 grams. This bait here can move water, and it could be cast a country mile. That square bill on this thing makes that have that wide walk. It's got the weight in the belly like the rest of the Macbeth series. And what I really like about this bait, it's that 3 to 5 foot diving range, but it's casting distance. This is going to be the bait when I'm searching a flat or I need to get long bomb casts out of it. It's really going to do a great job. Especially in the fall time when the fish are keying in on that bigger bait, that's the other time you're going to want to reach for something like this. The one thing I've noticed about having my hands on Macbeth for a little bit now is that whether you're pan fishing with a 39F or you're middle of the season in the 50F or the 50F shallow, or maybe you're going to move to the 63 as the bait progressively gets bigger through the year until the fall time when big baits really work well, this system has you covered. So there you have it, guys. That's the new Macbeth family series from Shimano that's finally been released to North America. I'm excited to get these on the water and fish them. I mean, they are beautiful baits. The components, the hooks, the split rings, everything is high quality on them. I mean, I've hooked myself so many times playing with these things and filming them that I don't even want to tell you how many times. I've bled more than a number of times from these baits. So great hooks, good split rings, good components, great built bait. Do me a favor, guys, if you can. Click the subscribe button down below. The crazy thing is that 90% of the people who watch my videos are not actually subscribed. So if you click subscribe and then click get notifications, that will let you know when I put up a new video every time. We're going to be doing a bunch more of these, so thanks everybody for tuning in. I love the fact that I get to chat with you guys about one of my favorite things in the world, and that's fishing tackle. So take care, everybody. We will talk to you soon.